All right. Hello, we are back with Under the Golden Gate, and we are here with Ginger Murray, the editor of Whore magazine. Need I say more, right? And let's see what's in this magazine. Funny how I should just happen to turn to this. This gives you an idea of what's in the magazine. My favorite magazine.
Are there whores?
What is a whore? Why don't you start off by telling us what a whore is, actually?
Well, it's an interesting term. Obviously, it has a much more complex definition than most people think. Most people equate it with prostitution. That is unfair because, prostitutes, sex workers, that's a very specific thing. It's exchanging sex for money. Whores, well, they have a much more extensive and complex career. So basically, we define a whore as anyone who pushes people's buttons, goes too far, challenges the status quo, wears men's clothes, dares to go out at night, with unescorted, wears red lipstick and heels even when she doesn't have to. Whatever. Sort of a whore is anyone who just, she's
9 out of
like,
10 worked for me, except for
Yeah,
men's
there you
club. Am I
go.
still a whore?
You push people's buttons?
I like to push and suck on buttons and everything.
Push
There
us.
you go. You everybody gets to be a whore, really.
Are you
All
looking-
you have to do is just challenge things.
Oh, that's what we're trying to do. Are you looking for a centerfold at the moment?
Absolutely, always.
A trans centerfold. So, are you a whore?
I have been known to be a whore from time to
Right,
time.
yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah, well, the obvious question is, tell us what the magazine is about and who is it targeted for?
Well, it's our sort of tagline is we attempt to give dignity to what has been scorned. So throughout the past, throughout history, and now, like I said, all those people who challenge boundaries tend to get condemned by certain groups, and so we want to tell the stories of that, explore them in greater depth, and give them dignity.
Oh, well, so it's almost like, in a way, is it kind of like what Madonna did in the 80s, where she was saying it's okay to be sexy, it's okay to, that kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay to be sexy, okay to be feminist, okay to have your own different ideas about that. It's about women. We think that the culture of women is really, really interesting, particularly historically. There are a lot of women in history who are incredibly fascinating, who have never been talked about. Nobody knows who they are.
It's hard being a woman, isn't it?
It is very hard being
Men
a
have
woman.
no idea. What do you think, Andrew?
Whinge. Is it true that when Madonna breastfeeds that...
When Madonna breastfeeds.
Fuck up.
Look at that stogie! Anyway,
Jesus
sorry, continue.
Christ, professional fucking run show that we have here. Is it true that when Madonna breastfeeds that canned dog food comes out of her nipples?
The last time I hung out with Madonna, I did not notice any dog food.
Have you met Madonna?
No.
Have you
Only
met,
in my dreams.
Have you met Lady Gaga?
No, I don't like Lady Gaga.
Do you think she has?
Yay!
Do you think she has a dick?
Ooh, that would make her much more interesting to me.
Yeah, oh, I like that. Yeah, that's fabulous.
No, one of the things that Lady Gaga said in an interview that really, really irritated me, she said, I'm just like everybody else. And I was like, yes, all of us who are international pop stars at age 26.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
You're
never
just
washed
like,
dishes in her life.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
She's from Long Island.
When was it that being an artist was that somehow being like everybody else was part of the point of being an artist? I always thought being an artist meant having an extraordinary viewpoint.
I always,
Yeah,
expression.
unique.
I
Yeah.
always thought being an artist meant being a cunt.
And cunts do not belong in this magazine. We're talking about
actually-
women.
Oh, they do?
That's a
Certainly
tough
they do.
word. I mean,
It
do
is
you
a
want to
tough
comment
word.
on that word or do you want to skip to the next topic?
Hey, I will say this: in Australia, it has no sexual connotation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a general terminology.
Negative
It's
term.
it's a negative pronoun, but it has no sex or gender attached to it. It's just this cunt, that cunt, which cunt, any cunt.
I lived in Britain for a while, and it was the same kind of thing, and so I got kind of inured to it. And actually, I like the sound of the word. I understand that a lot of people find it very offensive, and I totally respect that. But personally, for me, I don't have an issue with it. For me, words it's the intention behind them that makes them violent, brutal, awful, terrible. I mean, you can go to somebody and go, "You are so pink." And,
Yeah, you're right,
because
yeah.
I'm intending to,
I'm a little offended.
say
yeah.
your shit. Yeah, see, there you go.
That's because he's one of the Neanderthals. Well, I mean, clearly this is a very important topic to you. What motivated you to do this magazine is obviously a labor of love, but was there anything in particular?
Oh gosh, it was so many things fed into it, but including Simone de Beauvoir, Naomi Wolf's The Beauty Myth. The idea of women's magazines that are not about trying to sell you something or tell you that you have to be a particular way.
So are you saying that women don't have to be whores?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
No, they can be pure little virgins who just want to see what spanking is all about.
Fair enough.
And it's got a lot of sort of old style, very vintage kind of stuff in it. Like there's another one, spanking.
Spankings, it's
But
fun.
but it seems like there's a lot of variety here. You got women who want to wear sort of their corsets and look proper, and then women who want to be naughty with very little on. So I mean, it looks like there's a big spectrum here. Is that right?
Well, no, because we feel it's sort of, as long as you're doing something because it is of your own volition and it gives you pleasure and joy and expression and strength, then by all means, go forth. Have a great time.
Yeah. And how do you put together a magazine like this? How do you find all the content?
Oh, well, that's constantly a labor of exciting research and exploration, and we live in an exciting city, we live in an exciting world, and it's talking
Yes.
to amazing people, and, I love doing research. I'm such a dork about it. I actually, when I watch Hulu, during the commercial breaks, I actually pop over to another tab and do research about Strange Things. Recently, I was researching Lizzie Borden. I was like, did she really do it?
What?
Wow.
She cut someone's head off, or
Yeah, Lizzie Borden of the 40 Wax.
she cut off what?
She killed, well, supposedly, she killed her stepmother and her father. It was one of the biggest. It was a big, huge, sensational
Her
case.
stepbrother and her father.
No, his stepmother.
And her father. She
Yeah,
she
with
was
an
an
axe.
orphan. She was an orphan. She had a stepmother and a stepfather.
No, his stepmother and her father,
Her
who was
real
very,
father.
very wealthy and very, very, nobody liked him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like him already.
So he might have deserved his wax, but murder is never okay.
Not even if you're a whore.
But I wanted to say one of the most fun influences for the magazine was I started reading all the journals and these stories of prostitutes in the Wild West, the great age of the Wild Wild West, and I was so struck. Like, these are women, a lot of them who started businesses. They ran their own ranches. Some of them were like, handy, with some pistols and a Bowie knife or some version of. And they were just sort of amazing. But in reading their journals, I was struck by how similar their lives were to ours now. Issues with dating and how do you do marriage and life and career and strange things. And,
Yeah.
they changed, they like adopted new identities and they like took on totally different names.
I love that kind of stuff. I want to do that all the
Exactly.
time.
The unsung heroes of the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a certain person by day, a girl by night. That's me, baby. I like to be a girl in the evening. It's easier to make money as a boy, unfortunately.
It is,
Oh, well.
it's true. But do you have a heart of gold? That's the really interesting question. I think you do.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, you're supposed to be
Yeah.
asking her questions.
Oh, yes. Well, as a
Maria,
matter of fact,
so
can we
do you
switch
have any
positions?
more?
Of course. Well, what's it like? I was wondering, what's it like? Like, are you a straight girl living in San Francisco around a bunch of queer people? Or are you in the middle, or what's it like being you living in this San Francisco kind of
Oh.
drag world? And do you fit in, or what?
I think I do. However, not everybody else agrees. I actually disappointed quite a few my performance artist friends, my various other wacky, wild, on the fringe friends because I got married. Yes.
yeah.
However, I did get married for the only reason I ever said that I would get married was for the
Green.
purposes of a green card.
we go.
Exactly. I do happen to love the man that I'm with, and we are, shacked up, as they say. But that was the motivation for the whole signing of the
Should I
paper
cut
and
this
whatnot.
out? Because is the immigration authority gonna?
No. We got past. He's already.
Oh, good.
posted.
Okay,
It's all
good.
good. It's all good. We
Okay,
can be out
we
about
just
it
won't
now.
rub it in.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so you're in a relationship and you're living in this world of drag queens and all kinds of interesting leather people and you are involved in that world a lot. I know you produce a drag cabaret show and
I do. I have produced a lot of
Yeah.
cabaret shows, and I love going and seeing all the different things that people are getting themselves up to. I've marched for sex workers' rights. I've hung out at trans symposiums. As far as I'm concerned, it's if you're a person who really believes in the rightness of life and people being alive and beautiful and expressive, then you want to go and be a part of all of it.
that's clearly what attracts you to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what San Francisco's about.
Yeah.
Apart from all these baby boomer
Yeah,
gentrifying trust fund baby motherfuckers moving in.
Yeah. Andrew, how do you feel about gentrification and what do you feel about gentrification? Do you agree with him?
Well, I do. Gentrification is a big old issue. The sad fact is, okay, here I'm going to get intensely political. As long as we continue to live in a country that is based on the structure, not only economically, but sort of philosophically, of the kind of intense capitalism that we have, gentrification is always going to be a part of our struggle. It's going to come, it's going to go, things are going to, it's like waves. They come in, they come out. And so bitching about it, I think, is kind of like a big, huge waste of our breath. What we need to do is start examining more deeply what is the very structure that these things come from. And doing one little part that we can actually do is, what they're doing right now with the sort of reconstruction project for 24th Street, is to help maintain some level of, the sort of true blue culture of the neighborhood and support businesses and things like that. So create some barricades around the onslaught of gentrification.
Yeah, to slow it down a little bit. Maybe we can't stop it. Maybe we can slow it down enough.
We can all move into the armory.
We could.
TheKink.com.
We could have a big old commune.
We were there a few
communist
weeks
commune,
ago.
Read Marx and spank each other.
Absolutely. But of course, the problem with the whole money situation is even when you created your magazine, you had to raise money for the magazine.
Absolutely.
So what was that like?
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
Do you do this stuff? Like, do you do the things? Are you like a model as well? Do you like get naked and spank other people?
I am not. I'm not a professional in that particular arena, though. I do have a famous performance art piece I do with my own fake cock and nipples that feed people whiskey.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's quite
Single
fun.
malt?
Oh, Jameson.
Jameson.
Jameson
Oh, you
was
must be
my favorite.
Irish, right? Yes, of course. Yes, yes. So and you had to raise money for this magazine. So you had to do a budget and find an investor. And all
Yes, and publisher and advertising. Yes, we love advertisers. We love our advertisers. We take very good care of you.
that. So how did that change you when you had to actually go after money to do your art?
That was kind of it was a significant change, but it was interesting, and I'm thankful for it because I think that sometimes so much of art that's in the world gets not the recognition it deserves, and it doesn't spread as far and wide as it needs to because people are so like, I have no idea how to do this.
Yeah.
And certain things, they do take money, and that's just a fact. Print magazines require money, and print does have really still a really valid role in our lives, I think.
So we only
I
have
know they smell good.
we only have time for one more question, Maria. Did you have another question?
Make
Make it a sex question.
make it a sexy question. How long has bukkake been around, and what is that all about, and why the Japanese? Do you know anything about that, or like whores into that, or like, what is that? What is that?
I don't know. That's I find that always my favorite Japanese one are the Japanese orgasm machines.
The
Those are-
orgasmatrons or something?
Yeah,
From
they actually
movies?
have them. They're pretty groovy. I've seen footage, and actually, I think that's pretty hot and it's pretty awesome. The whole a bunch of cocks in your mouth doesn't sound like fun to me personally.
Yeah.
But
But you would have it featured if other people were into it, right?
Absolutely. It would be sort of like, I would be very curious to talk to some people. Like, what is is it just this sort of gluttony of like, I just want to, just give it to me.
I hate my father kind of thing, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
And what is your favorite little kink that you like people like a lot?
Oh God,
Or have we run out of time?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm a terrible poster child for kinksterness.
As usual, the people who like cook meth don't actually.
Yeah,
smoke it.
exactly. I don't dabble in the product.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
that's not true. I mean, actually, I think spanking is great. Spanking is fun. I don't know. I guess my biggest, I don't know. I don't really have a kink. It's really terrible.
I know.
I'm so
you
boring
got
that
a magazine.
way.
You got a magazine to put out. You got budget. You got publishing deadlines. You know, you can't be.
You have a vanilla kink.
I have a vanilla kink.
Yeah.
I really,
your
really
kink is
do.
vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically, I just like having an orgasm. That's really my biggest kink. And as a woman, frankly, that's one that could be, you could spend a lot of time devoting yourself to that particular kink.
wow. Women are very complex.
Yes, we
Appreciate that. Yes. Anything else, Andrew, for our illustrious guest?
You look a bit like Renee Zellweger.
I've heard that before.
That's kinky.
There you go.
Except she's much cooler, right? Final words of wisdom, and then say goodbye to the audience.
Oh, final words of wisdom. Let your freak flag fly and have a minute.
Yeah. Okay. And how do we get hold of you?
Oh, how do you get a hold of me? I am such a Facebook whore. Contact me on Facebook. It's Ginger Murray. Just come send me messages, send me articles, send me pictures. Actually, in the first issue, we had this photographer from Sweden send us this great photo series of this woman with horror painted across her chest and she was in shopping carts. And she was having such fun and she was like so delightful and so lovely and sweet. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for these pictures. It's lovely when we put them in the
love
first
this.
issue.
And this is horrormagazine.net.
Horrormagazine.net, yes.
All right. Well, here we are with Ginger Murray at Under the Golden Gate. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
All right. I'm sorry. All right, we'll cut it. What did you say?
Tell her how to get hold of it.
Okay, very good. So we're going to cut it at this end.